We're big electric car fans here at What Car. There are some great options out there, and in a few years, if the government sticks to its pledge at least, you won't be able to buy anything else anyway. But right now, electric cars still aren't for everyone. They cost more to buy than equivalent petrols and diesels, and if you haven't got a driveway, they can be expensive and not very convenient to charge up. So for everyone who can't yet make the switch to electric or just doesn't want to, we've put together a list of the best non-electric cars that you can buy right now, cars that you don't need to plug in. For our full top 50 rundown, you can head over to our website whatcar.com by clicking the link up there at the top. In this video, we're going to be taking you through the top 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to run you through from number 10 to number 6 quickly, and then we'll be back here on location with our top 5 to find out what makes them so good and to name an overall winner. But before all that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you've switched on notifications, and for a great deal on your next new car, whether it's petrol, diesel, electric or whatever, head over to our website whatcar.com or Google What Car Deals. Now, if you haven't completely ruled out buying an electric car, after you've watched this video, make sure you check out our rundown of the best EVs on sale. But at number 10 on our countdown of the best non-electric cars, it's the Honda Jazz. It's our favourite small car, also known as a Super Mini, partly because of how big it is inside. There's more rear leg and headroom than in any direct rival, plus when you don't have anyone sitting in the back, you can flip up the seat bases and you're left with a huge floor area to carry anything from a bike to a selection of pot plants. The boot is a good size too, although the Jazz doesn't only impress for practicality. It has a great driving position, a smart interior, and it's also one of the most frugal cars around. In our real-world tests, it averaged an impressive 56 mpg. Number 9 is the Ford Puma, our overall car of the year from back in 2019. Prices have gone up quite a bit since then, but it's still a great buy, particularly if your priorities are fun handling and nippy acceleration. The range-topping Puma ST has a 197 brake horsepower engine and drives more like a hot hatch than most small SUVs, so it's a much better buy than rivals like the Hyundai Kona N. However, we reckon the Puma is at its best in cheaper EcoBoost 155 ST line form. It's still pretty quick, it can do 0-60 in less than 9 seconds, and you'll get loads more miles from every gallon of petrol. At number 8 is the planet-sized BMW X7. If money's no object, it's easily the best 7-seater around. Even tall adults will be comfortable sitting on the third row of seats, and everyone inside will be treated to a smooth, calming ride and stunning interior quality. The X7 is also one of the quietest cars around, particularly if you go for the Petrol xDrive 40i version. Yes, it does cost more to buy than smaller 7-seat SUVs, including the Audi Q7 and Volvo XC90, but the X7 really is worth the extra. If you can live with the Marmite looks, it's a fantastic buy. Next in our countdown at number 7 is the Superb Estate. It's getting on a bit now. It was launched way back in 2015, but in many ways, it's still the best car Skoda makes. One of the most attractive features about it is, unsurprisingly, its enormous boot, but there's a lot more to the Superb than its load-lugging ability. It's comfortable, good to drive, well made inside, and great value for money. If you need to tow or your annual mileage is unusually high, take a look at the 2-litre diesel version. But for most buyers, the entry-level 1.5 petrol is the pick of the lineup. And at number 6 is the Hyundai Santa Fe. It might not be quite as roomy inside as a BMW X7, but it costs less than half the money to buy. And because it's a hybrid, it will cost you a lot less to run too. Officially, it can average more than 44 miles to the gallon. We reckon premium trim makes much more sense than range-topping Ultimate. You still get loads of kit, including adaptive cruise control and keyless entry, and it makes the Santa Fe significantly cheaper than the closely related Kia Sorento. So we're down to our top 5. What are they and what makes them so good? Well, in 5th spot, we have the Volkswagen T-Roc. It was launched back in 2017 and it's always been great to drive, really comfortable ride by the standards of the class and quieter and more comfortable than other small SUVs as well. But it was always let down by a disappointing interior. Lots of hard and scratchy plastics on the dashboard and on the insides of the doors. Thankfully, that was rectified by a facelift last year, so the T-Roc is now pretty upmarket inside. You've got more soft touch plastic on the dashboard and a lot less of the hard and scratchy stuff, even on this entry-level Life model. So we think it's now worth the small premium over cars like the Ford Puma. The T-Roc isn't quite as smart inside as the latest Honda Civic though. And it's not just the quality of the materials that impresses here. Everything feels really well put together. And the controls are lovely to use as well. So you've got this knurling on the aircon dials here and a really satisfying click when you twist them. Now, although we have excluded electric cars and plug-in hybrids from this list, we are allowing hybrids that you don't need to plug in, and that's exactly what the Civic is. It has a petrol engine, but that actually only drives the wheels at high speeds. The rest of the time, it acts as a generator, providing electricity for the motor. As you'd probably expect for a hybrid, fuel economy is very good. This is the most frugal car in our top 5 and managed just under 50 mpg in our real-world tests. And if that makes you think it's probably quite slow and not much fun to drive, well, that isn't the case at all. This car did 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds in our own tests, and it's even pretty good fun when you get some corners. But the Civic is nowhere near as much fun to drive as our number 3. This is the Porsche Cayman, and we reckon it's the best sports car you can buy right now. And if you're thinking, surely it can't be better than a McLaren, a Ferrari, or perhaps even Porsche's own 911, well, we think it is, because this will put a bigger smile on your face than just about anything, and it doesn't cost as much as a house to buy. You can actually pick up a brand new Cayman for less than £50,000, although the GTS version, which is our favourite, I'm driving that now, that costs around 70k. It's a lot of money, but we think it's worth it because, unlike cheaper versions of the Cayman, which have frankly quite unpleasant sounding 4-cylinder engines, this gets a fabulous 4-litre flat 6. Forget any mild hybrid electrical assistance. The engine, which is right behind me there, doesn't even have a turbocharger, so it's properly old school and all the better for it. It sounds absolutely fantastic, especially when you rev it and you press the sports exhaust button down here. Sounds a bit childish, but I promise you, you won't be able to resist pressing that button even on mundane journeys. The Cayman also has one of the best manual gearboxes around, and because of its compact size and wonderfully balanced handling, it feels ideally suited to British roads like we're on now, whereas a lot of modern supercars, they're so fast, so capable that you really need a racetrack to enjoy them at their best. But while the Cayman is a brilliant choice if you only need to carry around one other person and a couple of soft bags, it's about as practical as a tandem. So if you're looking for something roomier and easier to live with, but still great to drive and with quite sporty styling, we would point you in the direction of the brilliant BMW 4 Series. It's based on the 3 Series saloon, so it gets the same basic interior and superb infotainment system. And while it does lose a little bit of practicality, you'll still easily be able to fit a couple of adults in the back there. They'll just have to squeeze through quite a tight gap to get in. The car I'm driving here is the range-topping 6-cylinder M440i, and it's worth considering because it's very fast. It sounds like a proper sports car, but it's also very expensive. So we reckon the 4 Series is at its best in entry-level 420i form because it's much, much cheaper to buy and still plenty quick enough. But our winner and the best non-electric car that you can buy right now is the Kia Sportage. Now, it might not be the most exciting car in the world, but as an all-rounder, it's absolutely marvellous. Loads of space inside for all of your family, and some clever tricks as well, including rear seat backs that can be reclined. And although the boot is absolutely huge anyway, if you need more space, then you can just pull one of these handles here on the walls of the boot and the rear seat backs drop. So that's great if you need to make a trip to the tip or whatever. But this isn't just a big practical box. It has a pretty smart interior, and if you go for 3 trim, which we'd recommend, then you get quite a few luxuries as well. You get a 12.3-inch infotainment screen, adaptive cruise control, heated seats, and even a heated steering wheel. In fact, if you aren't too bothered about having loads of creature comforts, you might want to consider entry-level 2 trim because that is a lot cheaper to buy and still comes with all of the essentials. You can have a mild hybrid, a regular hybrid, or even a plug-in hybrid, but we don't think the fuel economy benefits are really worth it. So we'd actually point you towards the entry-level 1.6 petrol. It's quick enough, it's reasonably economical, and like all Kias, it comes with a 7-year warranty as standard. So that's our take on the best non-electric cars that you can buy right now. But what do you think? Let us know your top 10 in the comments below. As I said earlier, for our full top 50 rundown, you can head over to our website whatcar.com by clicking the link up there at the top. And that is also the place that you'll find in-depth reviews of all of the cars you've seen featured here today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for lots more videos like this. We'll see you next time.